Hello, this is a short 5-minute film on how to plot a function. So I'm going to define a function here. I'm going to call it function A, and it's going to be a function of t. So I'm defining the function here, and I'm going to call it t squared plus 4, and I'm going to evaluate that function to make sure it works, and it did. So all I want to do now is plot the function, and quite simply all I have to do is I say plot the function A as a function of some variable, and it doesn't have to be t. I'm going to call it z just to show you it can be some other variable, and I have to tell the range. I have to say what z is, and z is going to go from 1 to 10. And I evaluate that. And there's the plot of that function. Okay, another way to do that would be to create a table of that data, and I'm just going to call it function table, and I'm going to use the table command. And typically if you're going to do this, you're going to want to have two variables. You're going to want to have the x variable and then the function. So there's what that is, and then I'm going to say z is again going to go from 1 to 10. Okay, and there's that table. I'm going to suppress that and make that into a grid so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so now I have an XY table where X is 1 through 10 and Y is the function. And now if I want to plot this, I'm going to do list line plot. This is a 3-word command. I'm going to plot my function table, and I'm not going to put, and there it is. So you see I get the same thing there as I got above. I can just do a list plot instead, and I'll get points instead of lines. So that's a real quick look on how to plot a function. If I have I'm going to do function B. I'm going to make it as a function of t end of u, so it's going to be a 2-variable function. And I'll go t squared again plus 4 times u. And notice I'm using a space there for the multiply. Okay? And to plot that function, I'm going to say plot function B, and t is going to be a range, and I'm going to hold u constant at some number. I'm just going to make that up. So I'm holding u constant, and I'm going to make t a variable. Okay? Or I could put a constant there, make u variable, and I'll change this I'll just leave it there, see what we get, and I get that plot. So that's how you plot a function. You can just plot it directly. You can make it into a data table and then plot it using the list plot or the list line plot. Okay. If you have more than one variable, you have to hold all of them constant except for one. And the one that you make variable you have to define using the list curly brackets. I hope that helps. We'll see you online.